All right. So hi guys, welcome to our director information meeting. All right. And so I know that Susan Johnson came to town on Monday, and it was so exciting to have her there and have so many of you in the meeting beforehand where we talked about becoming a national area. And I know we kind of just did an overview of what that means. And so I wanted to go into some more specifics. And I know a lot of you left feeling like, what exactly does that mean? I don't really know. And if you weren't there, then I know that you're on because you have a desire for leadership and you have a desire for more in your life. And so I'm just going to explain directorship to you and how it all works and kind of what we're looking for, because here's the number one thing that I want you to just hear my heart before I go through all of this. You can do it. Any of you can become sales directors. Believe me, if me or anyone else as a director can do this, you can do this. And so I know I want to start off by saying that because as I'm going through this, you're going to have fears and you're going to have doubts and you're going to have insecurities that are going to pop up. And I just want you to keep holding to this foundation of you can do this. Anybody can become a sales director. Just like the entire part of this business is right here between your head, right between your own two ears. It's the exact same thing. So just know you have everything you need right now to become a director. Let that sink in. You have everything you need right now to become a director. I'm going to talk about what it takes and the qualifications and all of that, but just I want to start off with you have everything you need to be a director. If you have a desire for more and you want, and you're a leader, and you guys are on tonight, a lot of you are handpicked, and I reached out to each of you individually, because I see leadership potential in you. And I know that you have a desire for more, and you may have had been a leader in other forms of your life and in other arenas of your life that you probably, if you're a leader, you will be most comfortable at the position of directorship. That you will probably always feel frustrated as a consultant because you know you can do more. And you know you like to be the leader and at the top. So, all right, so here we go. I'm going to kind of explain what this is and kind of the gamut of Mary Kay. But just know we are building a national area this year, and so we're looking for leaders. And what that means is we need 20 sales directors, just like we talked about on Monday night. 20 sales directors. Right now we have 6, and we have 2 area DIQs. Yay, Kanisha and Roxanne, there are area DIQs. And so when they finish, that'll put us at 8. Okay, so we're almost halfway there to our goal. But if every single one of you that are listening to the sound of our voice rose up and decided to get into DIQ and become a director, we could finish this thing. So we need, my goal is to have 10, is to have me in our unit build 10 new directors this year, and then we need 8 second lines. So a second line means that you're in one of my directors' units. So if you're in Courtney's unit or Christina's unit or Brianna's unit or Darby's unit or Jessica's or Darla's unit, you count as a second line. So we need 8 second lines and at least 12 first line. Okay, but my goal is to have 10 more first line this year. So I'm looking for leaders, women to step up and to rise up. And our goal, before I go through all the qualifications, our goal is to have 20 of you at leadership. So let me explain that really quickly. So Susan mentioned this on Monday night, that leadership is in San Diego this year. And you guys, leadership is probably my favorite event of the entire year. I love seminar. I love career conference. But leadership is the best of the best. It is the top 2% of the company. It is just this nationals and the sales directors. And so it's smaller, more intimate, and it's all leadership training. And this year, they're actually letting DIQs come. And to be in DIQ, I'll explain in a second what that means, but basically you just have to have 8 active people, and you can come join us in San Diego. And the vision and the excitement and the momentum that you're going to get from being there are literally going to be a game changer and going to be so powerful. And so I would love to have you guys join us in San Diego for the party. It's going to be an incredible time in San Diego. And so I want us to have 20 people join us in San Diego. So that gives you 2.5 months almost to get into DIQ to be able to join us. And then it'll give us time to be able to finish this thing. So anyways, wanted to explain to you that we'd love to have you join us. All right, so let's explain directorship and the advantages of being a director and why you may want to be a director, okay? So first of all, I'll explain the qualifications. It's super simple. It's not anywhere, I think, on the papers, but it's really simple. I have never, and I think I shared this on Monday, I've never in 14 years seen the qualifications be as low as they are right now. Right now is the time. It is your window to become a sales director, because it is easy. I want you to say that out loud. It is easy. It is easy to become a director, because if you have some limiting belief that directorship is hard and it's hard to become a director, then it will be. But you can tweak that. Last week on our all-in group, we talked about limiting beliefs and how, and that's one of them. If you have a limiting belief that directorship is hard, or it's hard to get there, then it will be. And so you've got to shift that and know that it's easy. And when I look at the qualifications, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And I want you to believe the same thing, because here's what I know. A decided heart is unstoppable. When you make up your mind that you're doing this, there is nothing that will stop you from making this happen. So to go into directorship, you're going to have to write this down because it's not on any of the handouts that I gave you, is you just need one thing. One thing, I've never seen it this easy, to go into DIQ, and DIQ stands for Director in Qualification. To go into DIQ, and you can only go in at the beginning of a month. So any of you could be in DIQ November 1st if you wanted to. You can submit November 1st and December 1st and January 1st to be able to join us at Leadership. So you can only submit at the end of a given month, or at the beginning of a month, and in the previous month, you have to have 8 active people. So that's it. To go into qualification to become a sales director, you only have to have 8 active people at the end of a given month. And you guys, it used to be so many crazy things just to be able to get into DIQ. So 8 active people by the end of the month, you can get into DIQ. You go into DIQ with 8 active, and then to get out of DIQ to finish, it's only 2 things. 2 things. And I don't want you to have to worry about all the details. We'll figure all that out once you get in. We work together. We work on all that. But basically, there's only 2 things to finish. You start with your 8 active. You finish with 24 active and 13,500 between you and your entire team. I have never seen the qualifications be this low in production and in team members. You do that over 1 to 3 months, you're a sales director. Don't get wrapped up in all of that. But just know that the first part, if you are not in DIQ right now, the first thing you want to be focused on is 8 active. How do I get to 8 active? And then once you're in DIQ, like Roxanne and Kanish are, you work with your director daily, and we work and we look at your numbers and we track it. We talk about how to do that. Now, once you're in DIQ, your people count. So if you have somebody sign up that's on your team, like let's say you recruited Susie Q. When you're in DIQ, and only when you're in DIQ, Susie Q's team member will count towards your 24. So it helps to have, team members, and if they bring in people, it counts, okay? So that's how you become a director. Super simple, right? It's easy. It's easy. It's easy, right? Right. It's easy. So I'm going to talk about the advantages of why would you want to do that? Why would you want to go through qualifications? And we're going to talk about a couple different things. And so I'll go over the first handout because we'll go straight to the money. Because I know a lot of people, this motivates people, all right? This isn't the only reason to become a director, but we're going to go over this handout. Now, it's in the packet that I sent that was like the biggest packet. I think it's the DIQ handout packet. Now, that thing has like everything you need to know about becoming a director. We're not going to go through all that. I think this is the only handout we're going to actually go through on that. But I attached that because I wanted you to see everything. That if you're that person who's like a C personality and needs all the details, it goes through how to team build. It talks about overcoming objections. It talks about becoming a 1-month normal. So many different things. But this is the main thing that I wanted you to see. It says consultant versus director commission comparison. Okay, so this talks about for the same amount of work, the increase in pay. And it's drastic. By the way, directors, a big objection that a lot of people have is, oh my gosh, I can never be a director because I don't have enough time. You're not going to be working at my level. Like I do this full time. I work 40 hours a week, but I have a unit over 300 people, right? As a new director, a minimum director usually works about 10 hours a week. And I'll show you about the unit sizes and stuff. If you want to be an Equinox director or a middle director, it can be more of a 20-hour week thing. And not until you get to your Cadillac or a trip unit are you working 30 hours a week. And so you choose, and at that point you have decisions to make. And so just know that this could be a very minimal director, maybe 10 15 hours a week, as long as you're doing income producing activities, right? Things that are making you money. All right, so this shows commission director versus consultant. Over here, it shows all of the orders. So this is different order side, or this says what the team members ordered. So team member number 1 orders 3,000. Team member number 2 orders 2,400. Team member number 3 orders 1,800. 4, 600, and then the 15 member orders 600. Okay, at that level, you'd be making 13%. Off to the side, I want you to write something down. You make 4, 9, or 13% commission as a consultant. You make 4% when you have 1 active team member, just your first team member. You make 9% when you have 5 active team members. So you always make 9%, sorry, when you have 5 active team members. 13%, which you never want to miss 13% if you're a consultant and have 5 or more team members. 13%, and this is the same all the way up through directorship. You make 13% when, don't lose me here, when you have 5 of them order 225 in 1 month, and you personally order 600 in 1 month. When you have those 2 things happen, you make 13%. And so this is a really dang good 13% commission that you don't want to miss out on 13 versus 9%. So it says that as a consultant, you would make $1,200 as a consultant. That's a really good commission check. But then there's also, you get $50 team building bonuses for every qualified team member as a consultant. So it says down here, your commission as a consultant would be $1,400. And that would be you doing 10,000 in 1 month between you and your team as a consultant. And I know, I think we have Courtney on here. Courtney, her very first, and Christina too did 9,000. And I think Marie did close to 8 or 9,000. Very first month in business. I remember Courtney's commission check was, close to $1,400. Very first month as a consultant doing 10,000. 10,000 in commission. Or 10,000 in wholesale production means you make 1,400 as a consultant. That's great money, right? Great money as a consultant. And then you don't have to understand all the bonuses, but the middle of this page talks about, with those exact same 5 orders, the difference in commission and the bonuses. You get way more bonuses as a director. You don't have to understand all, but we make unit commission, which means make 13%. You also still make your own 13%, same 13% as a consultant. You get a $1,000 volume bonus for each 1,000. You don't have to understand all that. $500 in recruiting bonus, and you still get your $500 team building bonuses. So basically, for the exact same amount of activity, you would be looking at a commission check of about $5,000. So as a consultant, it would be $1,400. As a director, with all the bonuses for the exact same people, it'd be about $5,000. So huge increase, right, for the exact same amount of activity. Now down here it says $7,000 versus $3,700 profit. What do you choose? And what that is assuming is that the consultant made $2,000 in sales. So in case you're confused by this number, that's where that's where it comes into place. But basically, commission-wise, you're looking at $1,400 as a consultant versus $5,000 as a director for the exact same amount of activity. So it's worth it to get there and do the work, right? Could any of you get excited about an extra $5,000 a month? Could you get excited? On about, I'd say 10 to 15 hours a week of consistent, and that really is the key, is consistent activity where you're working your business personally. And a lot of times, director, or people who are maybe nervous about becoming a director say, oh my gosh, I don't know how to be a director. What do I do? You do the exact same thing you're doing right now. You book, sell, book, recruit. And you take people with you. You take people with you, and you do the same thing. Have them come to your appointments. Mary Kay Ash always said, the best thing you can do as a leader is have them learn while you earn. That you don't have to go around and training them and doing all this crazy stuff. No, you bring them with you to your parties. And that's the best training that they will ever get. So you're going to make so much more for the same amount of activity. And you stay working personally, and that's really all you do is you personally. I remember as a new director, my goal is to see 30 faces every month. You know, that's your goal in DIQ, is to see 30 faces every month. You do the same thing, you just get paid a lot more. You know, as a new director, you guys hear me say, oh, $10,000 a month, you know, that's what my senior did. And then, you know, a year later, I was able to do the same thing. That was as a sales director. That was as a sales director and a newer director. I'd only been in like, I think I'd been a director maybe 4 or 5 months. And all I did was continually did 30 faces every month as a new director and kept working my personal business and build and consequently built my unit. And I was able to do that as well. So the income potential is so much higher as a director. Okay. So that's the first thing that a lot of people get excited about is the money. Because I know like Susan talked about on Monday night, the money is way, way, way different. So one last thing about the money before we go through the other reasons why you may want to become a sales director, because yes, the extra income is nice, but there's so much more to becoming a director. I believe it's the best position out there. Now, as I'm going through these, I want you to think about, why do you want to be a director? Because you've got to know your why. You've got to keep that in front of you. And I need to know your why. Why do you want to become a sales director? Because after tonight's meeting, I want each of you that are on tonight, because I can't see everybody on. I see there's 25 people. I don't know who's on. I see a couple faces. But I want you to reach out to me and let me know, first of all, what do you think? And, is this something you're all interested in? But more importantly, I want to know why you want to become a director. And extra money, of course, is nice. But why is that money important to you? Why would you want to make $5,000 a month? Why would you want to make $10,000 a month? Because when you know your why and your why is crystal clear, it will motivate you and it will push you to keep going when you're discouraged and when you get the disappointments and when you get the cancellations, okay? So be thinking as I'm going through all this, which of these would be exciting for you and would make the biggest difference in your life? So the other handout I'm going to go over is this guy. I think it says why directorship. At the top of the page. This talks about, once again, this is the other handout on income. And this talks about and I'm not going to go through the entire thing, just down here, basically bottom line is what I want you to look at, is it explains all the bonuses. And like I said, you don't have to understand all of the bonuses as a director, but just know that there's so many more bonuses as a director. That's where the 470% increase goes, okay? But this also talks about numbers, because here's the deal is I don't want you to just get to directorship and you don't get to directorship and just stop. What you get to directorship, and why would anyone stop? I don't know. But I've seen people do it. It's usually a belief thing. It's usually a confidence thing. It's usually they don't believe it. That's a whole belief thing. It's a whole other conversation. But the income potential is literally open wide up as long as you keep working and building. You can have some great income. So this talks about unit size, because you don't want to just be a minimum director. It takes 24 people to get there, but you guys are leaders. And I know once I got to directorship, I was like the small fish in a big pond, that I'm like, oh, I need to increase my unit size to really be able to take full advantage of this. And, that's all available to us. So basically what this talks about, it talks about unit size of 35. If you have a unit size of 35, which is a very small unit as a new director, this talks about all the bonuses and on average what your commission's looking like. Now this is just strictly averages, strictly averages. So that would be total estimated growth about $3,100 a month, and you're looking at about an extra $37,000 a year. Now let me be clear, a unit of 35 takes no time. Like, it's you. It's basically you're working your personal business. It's basically you're working like you would at a consultant level, just making a lot more. So it's a really part-time thing. I'd say 35 isn't even going to take you 10 hours a week. I mean, that it doesn't take much time, right? And really, as you grow in unit size, are you going to be, does it take more time and then consequently more money, right? So I just want you to know that a unit size of 35 people is not going to take you 40 hours a week. No way. No way. That if you were working your tail off and working personally, that's one thing, but it doesn't take much time. I know that's a big obstacle that a lot of you have. You work full time. And one of my directors, Darby, in Virginia, and I have a friend, a top trip director in Pennsylvania. She was a teacher, and she literally earned her top sales director trip while still maintaining her teaching job. And just this last year, she decided to let that go. And Darby, one of my directors in Virginia, she's one of our strongest directors. She actually still works full time and does Mary Kay and has kids and is very busy. Anyway, so it doesn't take much time, but obviously, like anything else, the more time you invest, the more money you're gonna make, right? So as you build your unit size, you guys are smart people. Basically, as you get up to 100 down at the bottom, this is where Most people with a unit size of 100 are usually driving a Cadillac, and they're making about 85 grand a year. So as you build your numbers, because it's all numbers, just like with leads and just like with bookings, it's all about numbers. You know, just like with team building, it's all about numbers. I say that all the time, that this whole business is a numbers game. And here's why I tell you that I love that, is because I get emotional, and I get, you know, when you're not working enough numbers, you look inward and you think there's something wrong with you. You think you're doing something wrong. But when you are working with large numbers, it causes you to not be as emotional and not as critical of yourself. What I mean by that is, let's say you saw 2 faces and you sold nothing. You can easily beat yourself up and be like, oh my gosh, I suck at this. I don't know how to do this. But when you see 30 faces, somebody's going to buy something. You're going to make some sales, whether your skills are awesome or not. It's all about numbers and just getting the product on enough people's faces, right? Same thing with team building, that you share with one person and they say no. You're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? You even share with 3 people. You say they say no. Oh my gosh, what do you? You haven't hit the numbers, because the average is 1 in 5. That you go share with 30 people, somebody's going to say yes, right? That numbers takes the emotion, like, makes it less emotional. Does that make sense? It's the same thing with unit size. The more people you have in your unit, the higher your paycheck is, the less emotional effort it takes, because you have larger numbers. So the key to emotional management is numbers. So it's a little side note, but there you go. 2 handouts that explain the income potential. So for a lot of you, that is exciting. Okay, the other 2 handouts I'm going to go over are the other reasons why it's awesome to become a director. I'm going to go over this handout. It talks about why become a sales director. And then the other handout that goes right along with that is the 41 benefits of becoming a sales director. I'm not going to go over all these because y'all can read. Y'all are smart women. But I am going to highlight some important ones. The number 1 on this sheet says the extreme blessing and privilege of leading other women to success. I can tell you by far that's my favorite reason why I love my business. I love being a director. Is for you guys. I love seeing you get excited. I love seeing you have wins. I love being able to encourage you. I love to be able to help pick you up when you're down, when you're like, oh my gosh, Candace, I don't know if I can do this. I love being able to rally with you and say, let's go do this together. You can do this. You have what it takes. That I love being able to be a part of other people's journey. Now, let me be clear. Before I became a director, I didn't think I had anything great to offer. I didn't think that I could inspire other people and really help other people. And so just know that that comes along the way. You guys look at me and you think, oh my gosh, I'm not like Candace. You have to know that I've been a director for 13 years. You did not see me 13 years ago. I was a hot mess. I didn't have it all together. I didn't know what I was doing. I stumbled over my words. I stumbled over everything. I still stumble over my words, but I didn't know what I was doing, that I had to learn. And so just know that it's something you'll learn and figure out, just like any new position. Just like if you got a raise at your current job or your current position, you wouldn't know what you were doing, right? It'd be this whole new can of worms, but you would figure it out. And I was determined to figure it out. And so just know you'll figure out all the details. Don't let fear hold you back. That's the number 1 reason why people don't sign up. It's the number 1 reason why people don't move up, is because they're afraid. So don't let the fear of, oh my gosh, can I do this, hold you back. You'll be a great leader if you like to lead with your heart. I have told several of you this recently, is that you'll be a great leader if you like to lead with your heart and you love people and care about people. That's the number 1 thing that I look for. Write that down. That's the number 1 trait that I look for, is that you like to help other people, and that you care about people. Because if you truly want to help other people, you will be a great director. Mary Kay Ash always said that if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. That if you truly are focused on, how can I help her make money? How can I help her in maybe this overcome this obstacle? How can I help her change her family's life and move up? You will truly be a great leader. That if it's about you and you're like, well, I just want a promotion, I just want a Cadillac, I want this, you will not be a great leader. But if you're really truly invested in her and you will help her, you will be a great leader, okay? So, all right, there's that one. And then it talks about all the commissions and the different bonuses. You're able to earn the free cars. At the director position is where you're able to earn the other 2 cars. Well, 3 levels of cars now. We're not going to go a ton into the car program tonight, but I will explain the car program as the consultant level. But to earn the Chevy Cruze or the Chevy Equinox or the Traverse or the Mini Cooper or the Cadillac, you do have to become a sales director, okay? So as part of that process, you get to the new director suit, which the one this year is so cute. If y'all were ever to become a director, it's the cutest one I've ever seen. Oh, I know Laura's listening here. That one of the reasons why people like to become sales directors is because you get this little box. It's called our unit support package, and basically it's all the new products before everyone can order them. You get them early. So we got ours in the middle of the month this month, and the new products weren't supposed to launch until November 1st. There was a little problem where the company accidentally sent out an email, whatever. We all got to order on Friday. Yay! But you guys get to order the same time that we as directors get to order, which I haven't seen that happen in years. And so this is a big deal. But normally directors get to order the stuff early, about 3 or 4 weeks before everybody else. So we get them early and we get the new products in our hands. We have had them in our hands since the middle of the month. So a lot of you signed up to know about the new stuff, right? There's also lots more education. As a director, there's different education. You get leadership training. Like I said, in January, it's usually just for directors. There's director meetings. And there's a ton of training on In Touch, how to become a director. But I didn't know what it meant to become a director, and I didn't know how to become a director, but just know that there is training just like every step of the way. But the biggest thing is you care about people and you love people. You have an opportunity to become a national. You have an opportunity to work overseas. You have more prizes. There's a lot more prizes as a sales director too, like all the diamond rings that I've earned, all of the, we get star consultant prizes, but then as a director, you can also have star sales director prizes where for a certain number of however many stars you have in the year, you get big prizes, whatever, there's way more prizes. But let's see what else. You get to teach. Ooh, I love that. That's one of my favorite things is I love to be able to teach at special events like leadership and seminar. Oh, I don't teach at leadership, but at career conference, and the opportunity to be able to pour into other people and the opportunity to inspire them. You guys get me all the time, but that's why it's good to go to like fall retreat we have this weekend, which by the way, if you guys can come, you can register on site. There's still a couple extra registrations, but it's a powerful thing just to be in the environment of Mary Kay people. And so there at fall retreat, you're going to get to hear from lots of other directors. And so it's so good to hear from other people because you learn so much more. And you've got to go to company things. But by the way, write this down. One of the big things you've got to make sure is a priority, and I know I'm preaching to the choir to most of you, but go to events. Go to the meetings. If you're not going to the meetings consistently, I guarantee you're probably not going to move as quickly because the number one obstacle you'll encounter is right here. And those that show up, go up. Mary Kay Ash said that all the time. Those that show up, go up. Okay, it's kind of funny. Do you know that Mary Kay, if you missed one meeting, she would literally send you a card saying, "I'm sorry, you're sick." Like, she literally thought you were sick if you missed a meeting. She knew there must have been something wrong with you. If you missed 2 meetings, she literally thought you were dying. She literally thought you were dying, and she would send a card saying, "Are you okay? I literally think you're dying because you have come missed 2 meetings." If you missed 3 meetings, then that meant you were dead. Like, literally, that's why Mary Kay valued the importance of the weekly meetings. And going to the events and the company-sponsored things is so important, you guys, because we need that motivation. We need that training because most of us, myself included, don't have the internal drive to stay motivated on our own. That we need the training and the motivation, and it's healthy, okay? We need that. So anyways, you get to teach at different things, So let's see. Oh, make the best girlfriends in the world. I can tell you, before Mary Kay, I did not have very many girlfriends. I was a tomboy. I didn't really like girls. You've heard me say that before. I didn't really know how to be a girl. But the women in Mary Kay, especially the people at the top, the higher you go, the higher the caliber of person, that they're the real deal. Because here's the thing. Anyone who moves up in this business, like I said, the biggest obstacle you'll encounter is right here, that they have had to grow so much personally. They have had to really work on themselves and their confidence and their insecurities, and they're not about drama. That there's none of that that it's kind of like you have had to, that it's this refined process that I can tell you who I am today is not who I was 13 years ago. And you become better the higher up you go, because you have to keep working on you. You have to keep working on your insecurities and your pride and your, their fear and all of those things that it refines you, that the higher you go, the better the people. It's amazing that I have the best girlfriends in the world. And I will tell you that all my really, really, really close friends are top sales directors in this company. I could share anything with them. They literally are there for you through life. And so it's a whole different can of worms. Oh, you also get Christmas and birthday gifts. That's kind of fun. So anyways, those are just some of the perks. But I can tell you that for me, the biggest thing I love is just the influence and the impact that I get to make in other people's lives. Okay. So anyways, those are just some of the benefits. I want you to be thinking, which of those would make the biggest difference in my life? Okay. Because you got to know why you want to become a director first and foremost. Okay. So you got to know the why. And then let me see. Okay. The next thing I'm going to go over is the traits that I look for, because here's the thing. You could look at all that and say, oh my gosh, I could get excited about, $3,000 to $5,000 extra a month, but I could never do it because of this, and this. That when you're thinking about directorship, instead of thinking about all the reasons why you couldn't be good at Mary Kay and why you couldn't be a great director, I want you to think about all the reasons why you would be a great leader. And so for a second, I'm going to have you write down, what do you think would make you a great leader? You're not allowed to say anything negative, okay? Not allowed to say anything negative. I want you to think for a second, not all the reasons why you couldn't be, because well, Lord knows we could all write a laundry list. I could write so many reasons why I don't think I could be a great national sales director. But if I focus on those things, it shuts me down. That I want you to make a list of all the reasons why you think you'd be a great director, okay? And like I said, the number one thing that I look for is that people that you want to help other people. And so if that's you, then you'd be a great director. So just write the list of things of reasons why you think you would be a great director. And here are the things that I will tell you. I have found there's just a couple that really make a great director, but I want you to focus on all the reasons why you think you'd be a great leader, okay? And what assets you have that would make you a great leader, okay? Because any of you can become a director. I can't say it enough. But that you've got to believe in yourself and know that you have everything you need right now. I'm going to say this like over and over again. You have everything you need right now to become a director. And those of you that are directors that are on, you have everything you need right now to be a Cadillac director, to be a national sales director. That the thing is that you've got to stop comparing yourself and stop looking at all the reasons why you couldn't do this, and stop thinking you need to be like Susie Q or like me or like anybody else. And you've got to embrace the gifts and talents that God has given you. Because just like I said on Monday night, all of you have different strengths. All of you have different strengths. And in this list, what I meant to have you say is, what are your strengths? What are your strengths? And I want you operating in your strengths. Because here's the thing, if you've heard me talk from stage or anywhere, I always talk about, I spent years comparing myself to other people, years feeling like I needed to be a director like this person or that person, and not embracing the gifts and talents that God had given me. That when my business catapulted, how it has over the last 3 years, was when I truly embraced who I was as a leader and stopped focusing on what was wrong with me and focused on my strengths. Because that's a whole nother training we could talk about, this whole strength finder thing, that basically you can only improve your weaknesses so much. You can only improve your weaknesses so much. And so many people focus on improving their weaknesses when what they should be doing is operating in their strengths. Because when you're operating in your strengths, you can have exponential growth because you're in your zone and you're excited and you're ignited. Okay. So what are your strengths? What are the reasons that would make you a great leader? And here's what, there's lots of big things, but like I said, I was thinking about like, what are the big things that I look for? And I'll tell you, there's only a couple. The first is that you want to help other people, right? The other thing is that you're willing, and so you have a big heart. You have a big heart and you want to help others, okay? And that's really it. But the other thing is you've got to be able to back that up with a work ethic. You've got to be willing to work. Now, you don't just magically, oh, poof, one day I want to become a director. This isn't something that you tell the company, hey, I want to be a director, and they just appoint it to you. No, this is something that you've got to be willing to work, and you've got to be willing to do the work. I mean, it's not hard work. Once again, this is easy. The hard work is right here, and really being willing to work on your affirmations, being willing to work on your fears, being willing to work on your inadequacies and your fears, and continually work on them over and over again. But you've got to be willing to work and put in the time and the effort, and minimally, Mary Kay Ash always said, you could go anywhere you want to go in this business, become a director, earn a free car by working 3 + 3 + 3. And that means 3 parties a week, not just facials, 3 parties a week, $300 in sales from those parties. Because when you're doing 3 parties, you're going to sell minimally $300, usually more, because most parties, the average party is $300 a week. So on average, you're doing 3 parties, you're probably going to be looking at least $900 to $1,000 a week, because you're in front of enough faces. The other 3 is 3 interviews, where you are sharing the business opportunity with 3 people a week. That you've got to be willing to work, and to work consistently. And the other thing that I think is probably almost as most important as wanting to help other people is grit. Grit and determination. You've got to be a person who is willing to figure it out and find a way, make a way, and not just be someone that when it gets tough, because you will have cancellations, you will have the obstacles, you will, butt up against stuff. The biggest stuff is right here, but here's the deal. When you're going for a big goal, things don't always work out. They don't always work out. And I'm just telling you that right now, that you have to be someone that is determined to make this happen. I can tell you one of the number 1 reasons I am here to this day is because I was too stubborn to quit. I was too stubborn to quit. I had my ex-husband, I had my mom tell me, oh, you can't do Mary Kay. No one's ever successful with that. Candace, you don't really have what it takes to do that. You're an engineer. You don't know people. You're shy. I let that drive me. And I was not going to go to them and say, you're right, I wasn't great at Mary Kay. No, I told them I was going to do this, and I put myself out there, and I was too stubborn to quit. Yes, I had cancellations. Yes, there were so many times where I'm like, what am I doing? I don't think I can do this. God, really? But I had my little pity party, but I got determined. And I dug deep and I said, oh no, this person, this cancellation, this little thing that happened over here, that is not stopping me from the calling that God has placed on my life. And so you've got to be willing to be someone who isn't just like, oh, you get some cancellations. All right, maybe I'm not supposed to do that. No, this is something where you've got to have some grit, people. You've got to have some grit. You got to be willing to stick with it and figure it out. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, you will get no's, but is it worth it? Absolutely. It's like, not to bring up like some sore subjects, but it's like training for a marathon. It's like, training for something that, of course you gotta do things and work, get up and go to the gym and work out and push yourself. But when you cross that finish line, it's absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it. That feeling of accomplishment, knowing that you did it, that you said you were going to do it and you did it. And the biggest thing that will happen, one of the big things that happens, and this is why I love going for big goals, is the person you become in the process outweighs everything. Outweighs everything. It outweighs the money. It outweighs all of that, because the person you become in the process and the confidence that is developed, in that process is priceless, because you will be a different person on the other side of it, because you were determined to stick it out, because you didn't give up, because when the doubt and the discouragement kicked in, you could have given up, but you stuck with it. That is such a great feeling, knowing that I did it. I did it. That is a gift you give yourself, but it also is a gift that you can give to your family and those around you. And I'm going to touch on a subject that I know is going to hit some hot buttons. Your kids are watching. Your kids are watching you. And when you get knocked down, when you have the cancellation, what lesson do you want to teach them? Do you want to teach them that, oh, when life gets hard, you give up? When life gets hard, you say, okay, well, maybe this isn't the right path. No, most moms I know, they want to show their kids that you get back up and you fight for what you want. And you teach them to dream, that they can do anything they set their mind to because they saw their mom do it. You guys, I love my mom to death. I spent 2 hours with her today. I love my mom to death, but she had extremely low confidence because she had never done anything great in her life. And she lost all her confidence. She passed that on to us. And me being the eldest, I got it more than anybody else. And I love my mom, but she passed that on to me. And that's something I came into this world with, that, you know, if I ever had kids, I was determined that I wanted to be a confident mom for them, to pass that on, to pass that legacy. That is a gift that you can give them, and you develop that confidence by going through a process like this where you get knocked down, but you get back up and they're watching you, you guys. That is a huge gift. Okay, off on a tangent, but I just know that so many of you are focusing just in conversation even beforehand. You know, I'd love to be a director, but I'm just so afraid I don't think I could ever do it. Once again, you have everything you need to become a director. If you're willing to believe in yourself, first of all, and be willing to do the work, being willing to love other people, and be willing to have some grit, and some determination that come hell or high water, whatever obstacles, and you better believe there will be some obstacles, that you are determined to make it happen. And you can be a director. Any of you can. And you can have the lifestyle and the freedoms of whatever it is that you want. Okay? So now I'm going to go into how. Okay? How do you become a director? So it's simple. 8 active. Any of you could be in DIQ by the end of the month. If you need kind of an outline as far as what to do, right here. We're going to go over this guy real quickly. The free car workload. It should be one of the attachments that I sent. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of them. This is for, I sent a ton of information for you information junkies that need all the information. I'm just kind of going overview, and I have done the Go Director Fast class. It's been like a 3 to 4 hour class. Now I'm consolidating it down into less than an hour. So this is the amount of activity that if you want a place to start and you're like, okay, Candace, that sounds great. How the heck do I get there? This is going to be the activity that's going to get you there. And you prove me wrong. I have yet to have somebody do this and prove me wrong, that you do this activity and don't earn a free card. Because we're going to do a little side note. I'm going to have you jot some notes down about the car program, because this workload, you do this workload and you will earn the car. You will earn the car. That you're in the car, you'll become director. You're in the car, and then you will easily go on to directorship. That you want to be a strong director, and strong directors earn the car while they became a director. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I did not earn my car while I became a director, and I wish I would have. And I did a few months later, but the people that have really strong units earn their car while they became a director. So you do this level of activity, and you will easily have earned the car. Now, the car program is a little bit different. Jot this down. You can go through the info later. But basically, you go on target for your car. On target for your car. When you have 5 active team members, 5 active, and the orders between you and your team members are 5,000 in a month, you go on target for your car, okay? And we've had new people do it all the time. You know, Christina, Marie, Courtney, they all went on target for their car their very first month in business. Very first month of business, so it doesn't have to take long, right? It literally is a decision. All of this is a decision. And my prayer is after tonight, you make a decision that, you know what? I'm doing this because that indecision stuff will kill you. It will kill you. Indecision will paralyze you. Should I not? Oh, I don't know. So you dance around, and guess what? You do nothing. And the number one reason you don't decide is because you're afraid. So don't let fear hold you back. All right. Side note, in case you can't tell, you already know this by now. I get off on tangents and passionate about stuff like that. Anyways, so go into our fear car, 5 active team members, 5,000 a month. And then you earn the car when that's 1 to 4 months. When I think it's 23,000 now, when you do 23,000 between you and 16 team members. Okay? Now, car is different because it's personal people. DIQ is 24 people, but it's your people's. Now, don't lose me. I know sometimes this loses people. Don't worry about it too much. Just know that you can earn your car at the same time you're becoming a director. You do this level of activity, you will earn a car, and consequently, you'll become a director at the same time. But you'll be making more money because you'll have 16 team members out of the 24, okay? And you'll have a higher production amount, okay? So with car, it's a higher production amount, but it's all personal. It's 23,016 active to earn the car over the 1 to 4 months. DIQ, it's 24 active and 13,500. So the production is way lower, but it's a higher number of team members, okay? 2 separate things. You do 16 team members doing this production, you will easily become a director. Okay, plus the world out there understands a free car more than they understand directorship. So this is the activity. This sheet says free car workload. and the rest of the world understands workload, okay? So you tell people, I'm earning a free car, and part of my workload, and I'm earning a promotion, or however you want to say it, I'm earning a promotion, I'm earning a free car. Part of my workload is to do this level of activity. So it says hostesses, and then it has, I think 28 lines. No, it has 56 lines, sorry. 56 lines, no, I lied. 28 hostesses. So this first column is hostesses. So 28 hostesses of 3 to 5 people, and then the other one says interviews. This is where it says 56, okay? So super simple. How you use this? I talked about this on Cash for Christmas thing. None of you actually have implemented this and using this, but if you want to actually do this, prove me wrong that you don't do this level of activity in 1 to 4 months and you don't have a free car in your driveway. So you say, hey, part of my workload is to have 28 hostesses and have 56 people just listen to info about the business opportunity. Now, so is there any way you can help me with one of these options? So most people start with the party and say, okay, I'll be hostess for you. All right, so I need to gather 3 to 5 people, whatever. You hostess coach them, all of that. That's whole nother training. You walk them through that. And then the career chat piece. So I need 56 people to just listen to the information. Because here's the deal. 1 in 5 people will sign up. I know that 42 people will say no. 42 people will say no, and that is totally fine because 14 people will say yes, and I will earn a free car. And actually now it's 16. So you would say 40 people will say no, and 16 people will say yes, and I will earn a free car. You do this level of activity in 1 to 4 months, and you show me that you are not a sales director and don't have a free car in your driveway. Then it's literally, once again, goes back to numbers and just being in front of enough people and talking to enough people, okay? So I wanted to explain that. And in the what you call it, the handout that I sent with the DIQ handouts, there are so many great things in there that you can look at. What I love about this is called 1 month normal. And this says it used to be 10 active to get in. You could literally finish in 1 month. You could literally finish in 1 month. You could be in DIQ November 1st, and you do this 1 month normal thing, you could be a director by December 1st. Literally could be done. If you have 3 red jackets in your future unit, and then you personally gold medal. This is a really cool thing. It just paints the bigger picture that it don't have to take long. And then the rest of the handouts in here talk about team building and recruiting do's and don'ts, and talks about dress for success. It talks about the emotional wheel. The number one thing that will sabotage anybody in this business is right here between their own 2 ears. You've got to understand this. I talk about it in New Consultant Education. But you've got to understand this, but more importantly, know how to get yourself out of it. That when you're having a pity party, when you're down here in stages 6 and 8, where you are, your fear sets in, denial sets in, and you have an option to settle or to get angry at yourself and pick back up and get recommitted, you gotta be aware of that and get yourself out of that as quickly as possible. Two things I know. Get me out of any pity party. Number 1, reaching up. And number 2, and that means you reach up to me. I'm your director, not to your sister consultants. You reach up to your director and you say, I'm struggling. I'm having a bad day. I need a pep talk. That you reach up. My girls who are running, like Candace and I, we talk every day, multiple times a day, because we've got a lot going on. She's in DIQ, and we don't have time for her to have a pity party. We don't have time for that. She's got a big goal. And the more you hide from other people, the more you don't talk to your mentor and your senior, the more you get in your own head. That, and you can have somebody be there to help pull you out, because we're meant to be in this with you. But I don't have a magic crystal ball that's saying, oh, Susie Q's having a bad day today, unless I hear from you. Okay, so that's number 1 thing that gets me out of a pity party is reach up. Second best thing is activity. Get into action. Go get a win. Okay, go get a win. If it's been a while since you've had a win, go get a win. That means a booking, a new team member, a sale, something good. You will move quicker the closer you have your wins together. The quicker you want to move is the quicker you have wins together. Meaning, and Mary Kay Ash said this herself too. She said, if you want to move quickly, you want there to be a short amount of time between your skincare classes. I'm not quoting her correctly, but basically something along the lines of, the quicker you move up is the short amount of time you have between skincare classes. Meaning, if you have 3 plus 3 plus 3 and you have 3 a week, you have less time in between your skincare classes, you're going to move quicker. If you have 1 skincare class a month, you're going to move a lot slower, that you want to have wins back to back, right? Because especially when you're in DIQ. Okay, so you can look through all the details and all the specifics in that packet that I emailed you out later. Lots of great stuff. They talk about affirmations because, like we said, the key is right here, and you've got to really work on increasing your belief that you can do this. Because like I said, the number one thing is you got to believe in yourself, believe that you have everything you need right now, and sometimes you really got to work on affirming yourself. And here's the deal. The rest of the world is not going to affirm you. The rest of the world, besides your Mary Kay friends, isn't going to say, great job, you're amazing, we love you. And I'm not always around, and your director isn't always around to do that. You've got to affirm yourself. You've got to build yourself up. I don't have anybody pouring into me. I don't have anybody saying, good job, Candace, you're doing amazing. I mean, some of you guys do. I'm not asking for that. Please, Lord, that's not what I mean. But I know that I have to affirm myself. Because even if everybody else tells me I'm amazing, if I don't believe it, it doesn't matter. And that I have got to believe it, that when other people say it, that it is true, that I have to work really hard on affirming myself. And so I say affirmations daily. I'm playing them constantly and I know if I'm having a pity party, I hit my affirmation tape. Well, it's not a tape really, it's on my phone. And it is me speaking to myself in my most powerful version, saying, Candace, you can do this. You are powerful. You are confident, when I'm not feeling powerful and confident. And so anyways, affirmations, there's the whole handout on that in there. But all of this to say, I want to keep it to an hour, and I know we're getting close to the end, is that just gives you a little bit of a peek into what it's like to be, or why I would love to have you be a director. That gives you a little taste of what it's like, but the key is you. The key is you. You've got to believe in yourself, and then be willing to back it up with activity and be willing to stick it out. But any of you have what it takes. And let's see, what else did I get? What are I going to talk about? So that's pretty much it. Any of you could be in DIQ November 1st. Any of you, if you make a decision and you choose to believe that it's possible for you. So when I was going off on my tangent, I said that it's literally a decision. And any time, if you've been around Mary Kay for any amount and you go to these trainings or whatever, and they've achieved something big, 9 times out of 10, their biggest tip is, you know what, I made a decision. I made a decision that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I made a decision that I was no longer okay with settling. I made a decision that I was worth it and that I wanted more for my family and for myself. And they made a decision, and not just, yeah, I want to be a director, but they truly made the decision that they were going to do it come hell or high water, no matter what obstacle was thrown their way. And they did it. That you've got to make a decision as to whether you want, and if you're not ready to make a decision, that's totally fine. Totally fine. I love you no matter what. But I'm also looking for women who are ready to be brave and make a decision. Women who say, I am scared. I am nervous. I don't know, if I'd be a great leader. Guess what? Nobody knows. Welcome to the club. I was just talking to Debbie the other day, and her senior said, well, welcome to leadership. You're afraid? Well, welcome to leadership, because that's what leadership is. We don't know what we're doing. If you look at any great leader in the Bible, any great leader over the last, ever, of all time, they were afraid. But the difference is they didn't let fear hold them back. That they chose to do it despite the fear. The fear is not going to go away. The fear and the doubt and the insecurities is not going to go away. I'm looking for people who are ready to plow through and make a decision regardless of the fear and the doubt, and regardless of focusing on that. They're not going to focus on all the reasons why they can't, but they're going to focus on the reasons why they think they would be a great leader and the assets that you have. And like I said, I told you, I was thinking about it and praying about it, and really, those are the big things that I think make a director. You love people, you're willing to work, and you're willing to have some grit that you're not going to give up no matter what comes your way. Okay? So that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to tell you that I want to hear from you, because I don't even know who's all on. I can see a couple of you that are on. I want to hear from you. I want to know, that you were on and what your takeaways were. And I want to know what you think about all this. Is it something that you are ready to become a director? Because if so, then we're going to jump in this boat together, and we're going to be talking, and we're going to be working together. This isn't something that, oh, you want to become a director? All right, good luck. Have a nice life. No, I'm looking for women who are ready to be a part of this movement, because when we become a national area, it's a group of people facing their fears, who are scared and who are nervous, but want to be a part of the bigger picture. They want to be a part of this national area because we're doing this. We need you guys' help, and national is something that I can't do on my own. I cannot do on my own. If it was something I could do, I would have done it years ago. But it's something that I can't do on my own. It's something that it takes each of you stepping into your greatness. It takes each of you rising up and becoming leaders so that we as an area can pull this thing off. Because I've already become a director. I already know how to do it. And I've already, crossed that bridge that I need, that we need you guys to be willing to do the same and be willing to face your fears and join a group of us who are facing our fears and going for something crazy big and don't know how. That's the thing you got to get out of your head is you don't know how. You got to write that down. You don't know how. And I think some of us that are control freaks and we like to know all the details. We want to know how it's all going to work out. That's one of the biggest things that I've had to let go as a leader is I've got to believe it and I've got to see it and know that it's going to happen, but I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know all the pieces that are going to come together. Just like with this national area. I see it. I see us becoming an area. I don't know who are going to be who are going to be in each of the spots. That I want it to be you guys. I want it to be each and every single one of you. I want to see your name on there. And I have an idea of like, hey, maybe this person, I think this person could do it. I think this person could do it. But I don't know. I don't know if you're going to do it. I don't know if you're going to be gritty enough and determined enough to stick with it and to figure it out. I don't know. That's something that only time will tell. But I don't know how. And it's the same thing with DIQ. You don't know how. You've got to let that go and say, God, I trust you with the how. I'm just going to do my part. And be willing to stick with it. And so if you do want to become a director, I want to know why. Why are you excited about becoming a director? What excites you about this opportunity? What excites you about being a part of this area and a part of this movement? I want to know why you want to become a director because like I said at the very beginning when I was talking about the why, when the doubt and the discouragement sets in, your why has to motivate you. That it's also my job to come in there and say, you know what, Susie Q, I know you're discouraged right now, but I know, like let's say your why is to be able to stay home with your kids or to be able to spend more time with your kids or to be able to, I don't know, help your husband leave his job. I don't know what it may be. Let's say it's the husband thing. Say, when you're down, say, you know what, I know you're down right now, but remember why you're doing this. You want to get your husband home with your kids. You want to get your husband to relieve, him from that stressful job that he doesn't want to be at. That I know you're discouraged, but isn't your husband worth it? Aren't your kids worth it? Aren't you worth it? And keeping that in front of you keeps you going when the doubt and the discouragement kicks in. Okay? So I want to know why. And then I would encourage you and then I encourage you to pick a date because it's important to pick a date. We always say that a goal without a timeline is just a dream. A goal without a timeline is just a dream. And I want you joining me in San Diego. Right now we have 25 people on. If all of you got into DIQ by January 1st, you come with us to leadership. But I'd also encourage you to not push that date away so far because usually fear is the only reason why you say January 1st. That if you're telling me January 1st, that means you're just afraid. That I would encourage you to either say November 1st or December 1st. And if you have 0 team members, I don't care if you have 0 team members. You could be in DIQ November 1st. So the last thing I'm going to say is that it's about numbers. You want to be in DIQ November 1st? 1 in 5 people will sign on average. Now, let me be clear. They need to listen to the information, and the more people you can have face-to-face, the better. But second best is a video or some phone thing. Okay? So 1 in 5 will sign. You need 8 active people. That means you need at least, I'd say, 40 people to have just listened. And you could set a goal. I know Marie has done this. I know Christina has done this, where they had 40 people just listen in 2 weeks, and they got into DIQ. That if you have a desire and you feel like when I said DIQ November 1st, you're like, yeah, I want to do that, but I'd encourage you to let the buts go and just focus on the how. Because you got to learn to be a problem solver, not an excuse maker, my friends. And we all can make excuses and reasons why we can procrastinate and put it off. But I'm looking for women who are ready to be brave and ready to do the work and at least push for something. That if you're not pushing for DIQ, well, I want you to at least push for team leader. Team leader is 5. All of you could have 5 people. You can go on tour for your car this month, you guys. You could go on tour for your car this month. It takes 5 team members, and your director and I will work with them on getting their orders in. But I would say DIQ, November 1st is what I want you stretching for. There's 1 week left. Anything can happen in this next week. And you guys, with this new product launch that they launched early on Friday, that's a reason for people to order. So those of you that have team members, this is a reason you better be on them and call them and say, oh my gosh, this new product came out. You are going to want it. You are going to want it. Is there any way that you can order 220? And I hope and pray that you guys plan on ordering, on Friday, and be thinking big. Be thinking, okay, one for demo, one for me. One for demo, one for me, and it counts as double credit. That with your team members, gosh, they could easily order 225 in just new product, new color for themselves, So use that to motivate you. But anyways, all you need is 5. So DIQ, November 1st or December 1st. That's what if you have a desire to get into DIQ. Secondly, I'd encourage you to push to go on target for your car. It's only 5 active people. Your orders between your team are 5,000. Minimally, if you have 0 team members or you want to go slow, I'd say red jacket. Red jacket. But here's what I know. Write this down. Fast is easy, slow is hard. I think Candace and I were just talking about this somewhere. We heard this. Fast is easy, slow is hard. That if you say, okay, I'm going to take the long route, it takes a long time. That it's easier just to do a lot of activity quickly and get there. And then you keep working. That is the thing. Once you get there, you keep working and you keep building on and on and on. So all that to say, those of you that want to be in DIQ November 1st, you easily could. You could go on target for your car by November 1st. You could minimally be in your red jacket by November 1st. I believe in all of you, and I know that you can do it, that it's just a matter of backing it up. That if you want to be in your red jacket, then you need to have at least 15 people between now and the end of the month. Just listen, I'd encourage you to start there. Start there. So what you do is you make a list of anybody that you think could use more in her life. Anybody in your life that you think could be blessed by Mary Kay. I'm not going through all team building right now, but basically anybody could be blessed by this opportunity. Would you not all say that this company has blessed you, even if you've been in just a week? I know we have a couple people on who've been in less than a month, and I can guarantee that you probably say that something good has happened. It's probably giving you hope. It's giving you some excitement. Just the other day I was talking to a new consultant, and she was like, Candace, I've only been in for a week. I don't even have my starter kit yet, but already this company has given me hope. It's given me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It's given me a reason to be a better mom for my kids. You guys, that's what we offer women, is hope, that they truly can have a better life. And so I want you to make a list of all the women in your life, no prejudging, that you think could use more in their life. And then you just ask. And I'd encourage you, if you want to be in your red jacket, have 20 people listen. Have them listen to the information. If they can come to an event and be face-to-face, that's a gazillion times better. Second best is have them watch a video and follow up with your director ASAP. Follow up with your director within 24 to 48 hours, because the follow-up is everything. Because then your director can come in and talk to them about overcoming their objections and all of that, okay? So, yeah, I'm excited to have you run. I'm excited to see you step up and be the leader that I know is inside each and every single one of you. And don't let fear hold you back from something that could totally change your life. And here's the other thing is, you won't know until you try. You won't know unless you get there. If you don't know, then just get there, get to directorship. If you don't love it, you don't have to stay a director. Guess what? You'll just be making more money because you have a bigger team. But you don't have to stay a director. You can get there and just try. So why not try? I'm looking for women who are ready to be brave and be courageous. We are building the Courageous National Area. So the reason why is because I believe it takes courage. I believe it takes courage to step into your greatness. I believe it takes courage to go for something. And I'm looking for women who are willing to be courageous and not let fear hold them back from being who God's created them to be. And really helping other women. Like, my prayer is every day that God would use me to bless other women, that he'd get me out of the way, that I would not focus on myself, but that they would truly, that I'd be a blessing to them, that they would see something good in this company, that I would bless them, that I would help them feel better. And you can't go wrong if that's your focus, right? And so my prayer for you is that something tonight encouraged you or ignited some little dream or some little spark in you, that you want to be a part of this. If not, that is 120% okay. Please let me know, because I don't want to bug you. I want to help you. That's my job. And if you're afraid, that's normal. I don't think anybody on this is saying, yeah, I want more, but I'm afraid. I don't think anybody is not saying that, but once again, don't let fear hold you back, okay? So that's it. I'm going to end with a poem, but I want to hear from you. I want to know who was on. I want to know your takeaways, and I want to know why. Even if you've told me, some of you you know, those of you that were on the all-in group, I did this at the very beginning, is that I talked about why do you want to be a director. I want you to tell me again, because I want to hear in your own words again, because we could not hear that stuff enough, why you want to be a director. And what are you going to push for November 1st? Those are the two big things I want to hear from you is, what are you going to push for November 1st? Are you ready to push for the IQ? You ready to go and charge for your car? You ready to get into red? What are you going to push for? And we will talk and we will run. If you are going to do this, I would just want you to know you're a priority to me. And I am looking for leaders that I want to run with. But I also can't help you if I don't hear from you. Okay? I want you to communicate with me. All right. So that's it. I'm going to end with one of my favorite poems. It's called Our Greatest Fear. I want you to be thinking about this. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. I'm going to read that again. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking back so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Let me read that again. This is a very deep poem. You're playing small and you holding back does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure about you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. I'm going to read that again. This is what empowers me. This is what excites me. This is what gets me out of bed in the morning. As we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. What that means, you guys, is there's a giant inside of you. There's greatness inside of you. And by you stepping out of your comfort zone, by you really going for something, by you not settling, by you being willing to play full out, you will liberate other people and you will excite other people to do the same thing. And that is why I do what I do. That's why I go for big goals, is because I'm scared and I'm nervous. I don't know how it's going to happen. But my prayer is that by you watching me go for crazy big goals, that it inspires you that you can do the same in your life. That if I can do it being afraid and nervous and not feeling like I've got it all together, that you can do this too. That it's our light that liberates other people and not our darkness. That you guys, you have a giant inside of you. And I believe that you are on this call tonight for a reason. And my prayer is that you let that giant come out. That you don't hold her back, that you let her come out, as cheesy as it sounds, be all you can be, but that you can be not me, but the most powerful version of yourself. Because that's how you become great at anything, is you embrace, like I said at the very beginning, you embrace the gift and talents that God has given you, and you run full out and empower other people to do the same. And you will literally change hundreds and thousands of lives. And as I said on Monday night, that's what I'm so excited about our national area. By each of us being bold and courageous and facing our fears, we are literally going to impact thousands of people by them watching us pull this thing off, by the lives and that are affected in each of your units, but also the other people that are watching in Colorado. We have not had a new national in Colorado for years. I mean, I've lived here almost 10 years and there hasn't been one since I've been here. And so you guys, we are going to empower other people in Colorado and then all across the country, that if we can do it, so can they. That it's so much bigger than us, so much bigger than us. And so I'm excited. I'm excited what's going to happen over these next few months. And I want to hear from you. So that's it. Went a little bit over an hour. I'm sorry, but I'm excited and I want to run with you. And I'm excited for us to pull this national area off. And now I want to hear from you. Now the ball is in your court. I want to hear from you and I want to run with you. And let's go do this. Let's run full out for November 1st. And then December 1st, and I want to celebrate with y'all in San Diego at Leadership. It's going to be a party, and you are not going to want to miss this party. Hearing from the best of the best of the best, top 2% of the company. Not going to want to miss it. So, all right. Well, message me to let me know that you're on, because now it looks like we have 29 people on. I don't know who is on, so message me. And if you're listening to the recording, message me. I want to hear from you. I want to hear you in or out. What are you feeling about all this? It's okay to not be 100% ready to jump in, but if you are, let's run together. I'd encourage you to be brave, and let's do this thing. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great night.